Folks, we are live. Welcome everyone to my final live stream before going on vacation. Yeah, a lot of people called me out in Discord and knew that I was just trolling out, just a little bit of clickbait. No big. Yeah, so me and my wife are actually taking a 2-week vacation. So I won't be back in town until like the end of August. And so, yeah, there's not going to be very many or any live streams until then. So I do have a bunch of awesome content scheduled. And I will be dropping a video every couple days while we're gone. So I will still have content coming. But yeah, so there's not going to be any live streams, no guests, nothing like that for the next couple weeks. So sorry about that. So I did at least want to jump on one more before we left. And then I will also be on, I don't know if they've announced it. Should I announce this? I will be on another large podcast live stream in the Pokemon community tomorrow. So you can speculate on where that's going to be. But so I don't want to announce anything if it's not announced yet. I'll let them keep that under wraps until they want to announce that. But yeah, so I will be doing a live stream tomorrow on someone else's channel. But other than that, yeah, this is going to be the last one for a few weeks or a couple weeks. So I didn't really have too many topics, a couple things I wanted to hit on. I'm going to go through the chat in a second, but right when I got in here, I got in like 10 minutes early and I saw the first few comments, someone said, Cap, yeah, you got me. This better be clickbait from Jake. Yeah, of course. Hopefully this isn't real, Greg. Yeah, it's not. But then I got the Chevels comment. They won. The vintage low pop prevails. Alex is officially canceled. Rarity over demand. So I didn't have a lot of time. So I just pulled up a couple cards that I had remembered from recently. So I'm going to show these just to kind of get that whole rarity demand thing going like we always do. So hold on. So here you go. And I know I always get called out for not taking exact comparisons. So here's a couple exact comparisons. Here you go. So here's one, the Rayquaza EX. So here, Rayquaza EX, Roaring Skies. Okay. It was released literally like 8 years ago. Okay. $13.95, May 12th. And then you have Rayquaza EX from Dragon Frontiers, PSA 10, $1,200, May 21st. So roughly the same time period, selling for less. And if we go look at the pop reports, we have Rayquaza EX from Dragon Frontiers, 60 10s, 198 9s, only 511 graded. We go to Rayquaza from Roaring Skies, 98 10s, 423 9s, 800 graded. So clearly, this card is neither older, rarer. It's not minter. It's the same mint. So why is it not better? Why is it not better? Here, I got another one for you. This one's even better. This is great. Look at this. July 4th, Team Magma's Groudon. Okay, 2033 PSA 10. Look at this. The literally exact same card. Remember all the people saying, "Hey, artwork doesn't matter. People care about the older, rarer, scarcer, better cards." No, here it is. The exact same card. Team Magma's Groudon. Literally the exact same card. Okay. PSA 10 from 2004 EX series. 324 PSA 10. Look at the date though. July 4th. July 4th. They sold the same exact day at auction. Therefore, literally the same exact card reprinted in modern is selling for like 5-6 times more. This should, I can go through a lot more. You can do this yourself. Literally just go to Pokelector, go through the older sets, and literally take the same exact Pokemon and look up its counterpart in, XY, Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield era. Type in PSA 10, look what they're going for. Go to PSA.com, PSAcard.com, look up the pop reports. You're going to see all the vintage cards have lower pops and there's less graded, right? All the boxes in vintage cost a lot more. All the packs cost a lot more. So it's a lot harder to get, a lot scarcer, right? They're a lot more rare. You can look them up in the same exact grade, so they're not any minter. But you're going to find that a lot of the times the modern cards are now surpassing them in value. So they're better. For lack of a better term, they're better. Older, rarer, minter, not better, right? The popularity, the demand, and having a similar level of mint is what you need. So I just thought that was funny. I saw that Chevels comment. I just had to troll it a little bit because it's just simply not true. Like, it's not the rule. It got started by SM Pratt back in the day making that statement, and everyone just kind of piled on board and believed it. It's not the truth. It never has been. So I don't know. I just thought it was funny. Anyway, we got Y Dart in here. He says, let's go, people. Time to keep investing in the most printed sets of Pokemon history that will forever go up in price and never crash because popularity and demand will never change to the moon. Popularity and demand have changed multiple times, but as you see, it has not carried all of the vintage cards to oblivion, and the modern cards are outperforming them. And a lot of these XY Sun and Moon cards were actually not popular in their time. We're not talking about just the Moonbreons here, right? We're talking about things that just stood the test of time because people legitimately like them. They actually like them. They want to buy them. They have real nostalgic feelings for this stuff. They have real interest. It's crazy. It's crazy. I know. It's great. I love the trolling though. Keep it up. Keep it coming. Sorry about that one. Hey, this title made me look like a Leonhardt video for a second. Yeah, my bad about that. I wasn't trying to clickbait too hard. Oh, here's more trolling. What do I do with my Pokemon Go ETBs? You said we're good. You just got to hold, man. Just got to hold forever, right? Justin Leonhardt, is that you? Just kidding. I'll stop playing, bro. You know, it'd be effed up if you. I'd be sad. Just make sure to send your collection. I've been your friend the longest. Yeah, man. I'm not going nowhere. Sorry, no collection coming your way. M Sip says, yeah, too many haters in here. Yeah, I'm used to it. Hey guys, it comes with the territory. It comes with the territory of being bullish on modern Pokemon. This is not this community is very close-minded to modern, and if you're not into the old rare mint or better stuff, it is what it is. Let's see. I'm trying to go through the chat, see if anyone said anything crazy. We got Ponga in here. We got E-Unit Trey, Nicola. We got Brad G cards. Terry's in the house. Kryptonite cards. Hermit Man's in here. What is going on, everyone? Risen Sparrow, what's going on? The Nobody There 21. Hey, Nobody, what's up, man? I know I've been talking to you in Discord a little bit. Vintage for boomers, modern for zoomers. That is absolutely correct. This isn't my last stream. This is my last stream before vacation. I won't be here for a couple weeks. So that's all it is. Ness says, art for sure matters. Older or rarer only works for a few iconic cards, base jar trophies. Yeah, so I talked about that before. So the older rare mint or better thing, first of all, I don't want to spoil it. I have a video dropping in the next couple of weeks while I'm gone, and it's going to show you other hobbies like sports cards. I'm really going to take you through and show you exactly how Modern's performing other places and basically how it usually works, right? The whales, right? The people with the most money, they keep the prices of the top end things there. So like, sure, the first edition base Charizard, the Pikachu trophies from 1997, the Illustrator, like the top tier is usually always going to be the top tier because it's just established at that point. What I usually talk about are like the tier 2, tier 3 cards. Once you start going down the list, the whales don't care about those because they're not the most rare, hardest things to find in the hobby, not something no one else can have. So the whales kind of don't care. It's harder to find enough people in the hobby, enough regular people that care enough, right? Because they're going to care about the things that they actually like. They're not just going to go chase rarity and scarcity of cards they really don't have any interest in, especially when they're just not as appealing and they have no nostalgic feelings for them, etc. So, but yeah, the top end will stay the top end. Nick's in here. What's up, Nick? Appreciate you being here, man. Mark says, time to load up on PSA 10 ball, guys. All right. Oh, gosh, I love it. Let's see. Collectors looking this way. Resellers looking that way. Absolutely. Miltank's uncle, back in the day, yawn, modern, vintage, all the same Pokemon is a growing market regardless of print amount. Yawn, modern, and vintage. I don't really know what you're talking about there. Terry's here. Hey, you can't use know-it-all collectibles without my consent. I coined that. Terry and Dan definitely go at each other's. I don't know if Dan really goes at him. Terry goes at Dan pretty hard. Okay, Infinite War. Generally, I think Sword and Shield will go down in history as one of the best blocks ever and will want to be revisited by most collectors. Yeah, I mean, look, collectors are going to want to visit when they came into the hobby at different times. So like me, I started back in 99, so obviously I have some attraction to all the, base, jungle, fossil, that first gen. But I also got back in the hobby in XY. That's when I came back in the hobby. And so I have a lot of nostalgia for XY now at this point. And so a lot of people came in end of Sun and Moon, early Sword and Shield. People are still coming in. That's the eras they're going to want to come back to. That's the ones they're going to remember when they want to come back and have more money to spend. Absolutely. I agree with that till the day we die. I assume Rudy is the dream guest. Obviously, I think most people's dream guest. That'd be amazing, right? He never does interviews, but if it ever happened, what would you most like to talk to him about? Man, I could talk to that guy for hours, days, right? I mean, I think we see things a lot the same way. And I think Rudy's just got so much knowledge just from his background in finance, his background in all the different markets he's been through in the trading card industry. I couldn't even begin to start. I would have to brainstorm for days to prepare for that interview. It'd be amazing. It would be amazing. Faux King says thoughts on entry price for 151 as an investment. Man, I just don't know the Japanese market good enough. I'm definitely going to say not $150, right? There's going to be more boxes hitting the market eventually. An actual price, I can't even give you a price. I really can't. Jeffrey says, is it too late to jump in as a new collector or investor? No, it's the same thing people think about, the stock market. It's like, well, is it too late to invest in, Apple? Is it too late to invest in Amazon? Is it too late to invest in Tesla? And, people have been saying that for the past, 1, 3, 5 years. And if you look at the 1, 3, 5 year track record of a lot of those big companies, you would have made X amount of more returns getting in. It's like, the gigantic, 1,000% gains have been made, but there's still very realistic gains being made every single year. I mean, people were literally saying you can't invest in modern sealed product anymore in Sword and Shield. And now we already see, base set almost 300, Rebel Clash in the mid 200s. We see a lot of the other boxes in the mid hundreds. You got Evolving Skies 400. I mean, you got some of the specialty ETBs, Champions Path over 100, Celebrations 85. So, I mean, you're seeing enormous amount of gains when compared to other traditional investments. So no, of course it's not too late. We're in a time now where it's going to take a little longer, it looks like, with the new era to rise in value. But I mean, look, the PC ETBs, right? PC ETBs and Paldea and 151's already crazy. Obsidian Flame's already crazy. Scarlet Violet base, the Meriadon PC ETB has now eclipsed the booster box in sell price. Go look at TCG Player. It's now selling for more than the booster box. So there's obviously huge opportunity in PC ETBs. There's always it's kind of like Jim Cramer always says, right? There's always a bull market somewhere. There is always a bull market somewhere in Pokemon. Just recently, a bunch of the XY cards and XY boxes had a huge jump. Before that, we saw all the team up and all the tag team boxes have a big jump in Sun and Moon. You don't know where the next big boom's going to be, but there's always stuff moving. There's always opportunity. No, it's nowhere near too late. Ponga, I said it in my name. I'm famous. Ponga, you were already famous long and before I said your name. Let's be honest. Infinite War says, compare it to any set before or after. I don't know if they can repeat what they did in Sword and Shield. Yeah, they do have some big shoes to fill. I agree with that. Let's see. What do we got? All right. Benny says, when you submit PSA cards, do you submit everything as value bulk? Absolutely. Absolutely. I make them tell me that it's an upcharge, right? Now, if it's really ridiculous, I'm not going to send a first edition base, holo to in bulk, right? If I know it's obviously $1,000+ card, I'm not going to do that. But yeah, a lot of the modern cards, even if it is selling for over $200, I'll still throw it in there as $199. A lot of the times it'll slip through. Only sometimes they upcharge you. It really doesn't happen. I would say, ask for forgiveness, not permission type thing. Just throw it in there. And if they really want to upcharge you, let them tell you that. Infinite War collectible accounting. I genuinely want to start an NFT blockchain that allows you to access the value Pokemon cards, but make them far more liquid and tradable. That's interesting. That's interesting there. Flip flap. Vintage is dead because the big wave is behind. If you want to invest, you think about the next things. One Piece. Sorry, Alex. I had to plug it. No problem, man. One Piece could be it. Yeah, vintage seems to have had its day in the sun. I mean, I could literally do this experiment live on stream in a second. I mean, like, because everyone thinks I like cherry pick data, and I really don't. I mean, you can literally do this for yourself, and we'll do it. We'll do it live. We'll pick some data points live, and we can see exactly how stuff's performing. Maybe they'll be wrong. Maybe I'll be wrong about some things. That's fine, but I'll just show you what I'm talking about. Dylan says, might even be able to fit a shirt in my closet if there wasn't Pokemon. If there was a Pokemon ETF. Oh, that's hilarious. Greg says every person that has revolutionized anything or been on the leading edge of any market was a person that had haters and hot takes. Do you, Alex, logic and facts trigger people? Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the thing. Like, sticking with the status quo, it can work for you, but it's dangerous, right? If you're too close-minded to look around and see what's happening, and you're not going to at least adjust your investing style, I mean, that's the worst thing you do. I mean, think about the guy who said, nope, Blockbuster is the thing. Netflix is going to, crash and burn. The person, no, this Facebook thing, nope, I'm sticking with MySpace, or, all these different companies that have disrupted industries. It's like, the same thing goes with Pokemon. It's like, for you to really bury your head in the sand and not pay attention to what's happening with Modern, and not pay attention to what's happening with all the new money entering sports cards, and that's eventually trickling into Pokemon. And you think that money is going to somehow go to these other cards other than the modern hot things that everyone wants. If that's what you're going to do, then, I mean, I hope you're right, but a lot of the times you're going to get left behind. And here, guys, here's the thing. A lot of people think I like jumped on the scene and I'm just like, all I know is modern bandwagon. I don't know how many times I have to say this. I started out in nothing but vintage. That's all I had. Literally everything. Vintage cards, vintage sealed product. That was it. I didn't start collecting or investing in modern until I started getting Evolutions booster boxes were the first modern sealed item I acquired. That was it. Then I moved into like some Generations, some Shining Legends, some Burning Shadows, and so on. But before that, it was WotC theme decks. It was WotC packs. It was WotC boxes. It was, WotC PSA 9s, PSA 10s. It was, some of the more obscure products, right? Like, the demo packs, some like the Black Triangle base set packs, or the Southern Islands sealed binder, or like I had all WotC. And because that was, what I remember, this what I had nostalgia for. That's what I saw some success with early on. Like when I started collecting, and then like a year later, I saw growth. So I started seeing success. And so I started buying more. The modern thing was really just like kind of shot in the dark. I mean, a friend of mine had that, hey, we came back for this. Are all the kids collecting now going to want to come back to Evolutions or things like this back in the day? Let's start putting this stuff away. Even if it doubles in the next, 5-10 years, that's going to be awesome. And got extremely lucky with the price. But then it shifted my whole mentality to, when I saw how the market moved with modern, I saw the vintage market, crash and burn and not recover the same way modern did. It got me to switch my whole focus and whole investing style based on what the market was telling me, based on the indicators I saw. And if you're too stubborn and you're so set in your ways that you can't see that and adjust, that's more dangerous than, being in this hype bubble that everything's going to crash in modern. I think it's more dangerous not being able to adapt or die. That's my, that's your clip you can get from me today. Adapt or die. Thomas Driver, great time to be an investor. If everyone wants to sell their collection at 60-70% market, then some of us going to clean up in a few years if we buying. You can clean up now, right? I mean, a lot of people selling those. It's not that the collection is not worth that much. It's just people don't want to take on that much at once. You could break it down and sell it right away and clean up. You don't even have to wait. Let's see. Afternoon, Alex. Trolls make the gains all the more satisfying. I love the trolls. I love the haters. Like, I know a lot of people get upset. Like, I don't get upset. I don't even think most of the people hating on me are actually like upset or mad at me. I think a lot of it's joking. I mean, some of them actually do hate me probably in real life, but no, I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, okay, if you make a YouTube channel or do anything in the public, you have to be ready for that. You have to be ready to take the heat. And if you're not, just don't start a YouTube channel. Like just stay in the shadows and do you, because you got to be ready for that if you're going public. And I was ready for it. It doesn't bother me. What bothers me, it's not the haters. It's and this is why I get so, like, I guess, emotional about it. It's it's the disinformation that's being portrayed onto the viewers that are seeing all the misinformation. It's making these statements that are completely wrong, but just because it's what those people still believe because it worked during the 2019-20 boom. That's what kind of gets me emotional, because guys, here, look, the facts, the data, statistics, they're all in front of your eyes. Go look at it yourself. And they're just like, no, I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to look up. I'm not looking up. Don't look up. Right. Everyone see that movie? I'm just going to keep listening to what's being fed to me. I'm going to believe them. They got a lot of money. They got a lot of Pokemon product. They're rich. I'm going to believe what they tell me. It's just like, okay, fine. Do it. Go for it. I don't care. I don't care anymore. It's too ridiculous. Let's see. Walrus is in here. What's up, man? I'm excited for when all these modern holders realize they're holding vintage and become the problem vintage stalkers. Yeah, that's always the thing is eventually modern is going to become vintage and all that. And I get it. That's cool. But it's not really about like just or labeling it vintage or modern. It's just, we don't even have to call it modern anymore. We can call it XY, Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield. The most people in the hobby got in during base through like Team Rocket-ish, right? By the time gym sets and Neos came out, the hobby was already declining. People were leaving it. And then the most people got in Pokemon Go, the game, right? In 16, Evolutions, right? That time, like Sun and Moon, Hidden Fates time, and then Sword and Shield era, right? This is when the majority of the people got in the hobby. Way back in 1999 WotC, and then XY, Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield. So this is the time that's going to hold the most nostalgia for folks, the most interest for people. So, you know, when you get into those middle era sets, there's no real interest there. Like there's going to be whales chasing the tip top cards, like the gold stars and the shinings and stuff like that. But as far as all the regular, you know, hits and hollows, and you're not going to have enough people to care about that. There's just not enough interest to drive people back to that stuff. And that's why you're seeing PSA 10s, like I showed in a video recently, going for $200, $300, $400, $500, even though they're 50, 100 pops, even though they're very rare, even though the set boxes cost $50,000 to open. No one cares about the cards. That's all there is to it. So we don't have to call it modern and vintage anymore. We can just call it, you know, this set or that set. I don't care. Let's see. If you want to own 3 PSA 10 SV singles, which ones would you choose for investing? Are any waifus? Scarlet Violet singles for investing? Way too soon. Way too soon to invest in anything Scarlet and Violet when it comes to singles. The market needs to do a lot of ironing out. We need to see how much products gets opened, how much comes to market. No idea right now. No idea. Here we go. Catch 'em all collectibles in the house. All modern becomes vintage. Gross. Oh man. Dan and who's Z&G Emporium, they're the two biggest vintage modern trolls right now. I mean, and I get it. Like I love vintage too. You know, like deep down, it always has a special spot in my heart. It's just, I can't overlook the signs and the indicators the market shows me. Like, you can't overlook that. You just can't. We can't force people to like what we like that. And that's what so many creators have been doing on YouTube. And so many people have been doing on these online forums like E4. Now that's really yuck. That's really ew, but that's what people have been doing for so long. They've been trying to convince enough people to care about what they care about. No, you should care about the pop reports. No, you should care about the history or significance these cards have to the hobby. You should go back and collect these. These are so much more rare and scarce. The problem is you're having to try to educate the audience, whereas with all the other cards, the audience just inherently likes them. There's organic demand. So why would you not play into that? Why would you not go with the trend? I'm not going to try and fight again. I'm not going to go against the current. I'm not a salmon, right? I'm going to go with the current. All right, I'm going with it. And so the same thing goes for investing. You know, it's like with Tesla, like when it was going up, you constantly had people trying to short it, buy puts against it, and they got crushed. When everyone else was just like, yeah, I don't know, I like Elon, I like Tesla, I like the technology, I'm just gonna go with the flow. And you went up to oblivion, and then the stock split. You kept going up and up and up, and that's kind of what Pokemon Modern is. It's like, why are we trying to fight it? Like, what is it that makes people hate Modern so much? What is it that makes people want Modern to go down? It's just like, why is there this irrational hate that Modern product is rising in value and people like it? Like, why are you upset that people like something, and because they like it, there's enough demand to push the prices higher. And then when the prices go higher, there's still enough demand and inherent want for it that it continues to keep the prices higher and keeps them strong. It doesn't make sense to me. It's a very strange phenomenon in this hobby that, and I've talked to others, that people don't really see in other hobbies. It's very weird. What does Dan say now? Always sell before it becomes vintage. There you go. Always sell. And hey, sell it before you have to auction it, like you do vintage and mid-era stuff, right, Dan? Right? Because it's not selling, right? Walrus says, that's my argument too, Dan. I get rid of modern before it ages. Gosh, you guys are trolling so hard. So hard. Let's see what's going on. Oh, Terry and Dan are uniting in the chat. I love to see it. Oh, here's a real one. Okay. What do you think about Mike Rubin thing pumping the sports card market and trickling into? Yeah, absolutely. So there is so much money and attention that's going to be just drilling into the sports card industry. And yes, that is inherently going to make it to TCGs. Look, for years, right? For the last amount of generations, money has always went in collectible items. Always, it always will. I mean, you could go back to, any time in history, people have always hoarded things. They've always collected things. The problem is though, those things change over time. And this goes back to being able to adapt or die. For a long time, high-end artworks, right? Like fine wines or collectible cars, like vintage cars or, antiques and, collectible coins. Like all of this stuff has been kind of the go-to things to collect in the older generations. What's happened is a shift. There's a complete cultural shift in today's day and age with millennials like me, Gen Z, the next generation after them. Don't even know what that's called yet, but there's value shifts. And when we get money, we're going to put our money in different things. That's why you're seeing all those other markets fall. They're starting to go stagnant. They're losing market share. The prices are falling because not as many people are pouring into that. And then those people are aging out. They're dying, for lack of a better word. They're passing away. And there's not enough people. There's not enough market there with not enough money to actually buy those items at the values they were assessed at then. Why? Because that money's going to other things. Sports cards, TCGs, video games, other things that people have interest in now. And this is just another one of those things. I mean, sports card market's going to continue to have money pouring into it. We're seeing modern sports cards sell for $4, $5, and $6 million. And it's only a matter of time before that gets to Pokemon. That's my opinion. Let's see. Oh, man. Walrus, thanks, Alex. You showed me the way. I'm buying PSA 9s now as investments. I'm damaging my 10s before grading to ensure that 9. Wouldn't go that far, but I mean, look, I just show the numbers. I'm just the messenger here. Don't shoot the messenger. If you don't like the numbers, take it up with the millions and millions of Pokemon buyers every year. Don't take it out on me. I'm just showing you that how the PSA 9s have performed over 10s. Okay, that's all it is. That's all it is. Oh, gosh. Oh, these comments are out of control today. Ponga, thoughts on buying rolls of scratch-offs when they are designed for people to lose money in bulk? Yeah, I'm going to stay away from the scratch-offs. I think I'll rip packs at Collecticon before I do that. Numbers don't lie. I just use them to tell the stories I want. Right, Dan. That's what I do. I mean, here? I'm just going to... Dan, were you here? Were you here for this? I'm going to go ahead and show this again. Look, Dan. Ready? So this is not me telling a story. This is a Team Magma, okay? Groudon. Modern card. July 4th sale, $2,033. The same exact Pokemon in vintage. Team Magma's Groudon, 2004, PSA 10, $323. Right? I mean, you can. I do the same thing as for Rayquaza. Rayquaza EX, Roaring Skies, $1,400. Rayquaza EX, Dragon Frontiers, $1,200. We can look at the pop reports of those cards, right? Here, pop reports of Dragon Frontiers Rayquaza, 60 10s, 511 graded. Rayquaza, Roaring Skies, 98 10s, 828 graded. I mean, I'm not making these numbers up, Dan. I'm not like trying to go find things to support, my rhetoric or whatever. I'm just showing you what's really happening. We're seeing a shift, just like we're seeing in the sports card market. We're seeing modern cards start to climb higher and higher on those top 10, top 100 lists. And the same thing's going to happen with Pokemon. We're already seeing modern cards overtake their vintage counterparts. And again, I'm not saying base set first edition Charizard will not always be the most expensive set card. I'm not saying the Pikachu Illustrator and the trophies and all those things will be overtaken by a mass-produced modern card. Never said that. What I am saying, though, is on that top 100 list, a lot of those vintage cards that may not be as sought after, popular, in demand, the whales don't want to go after, the modern cards can start knocking those off their pedestals. That's all I'm saying. Okay. And if you're like just trolling, great. But if people are really too blind to see that, then their head's literally just buried in the sand. That's all I have to say about it. I mean, that's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. If you had to bring back one, Blockbuster Radio Shack, vintage Pokemon, or Jesus, gotta take Jesus. Gotta take Jesus. If you had to buy one modern single, one XY single, and one vintage single, WotC, right now, what would that be? I mean, what kind of question is that? Do I have a budget? I mean, okay, one vintage single. First edition base set Charizard, PSA 10. I mean, it's pretty easy, right? One modern single, one XY single. I mean, what is XY no longer modern? That's another thing. I mean, what is one XY single? It'd probably be the Silver Dialga PSA 10. I think that'd be my XY single that I would take. And then I guess modern is anything after that. One modern single. I mean, I really don't know. I'd have to dive through. I'd really have to dive in and study. I don't really know exactly what are the most like rare, scarce, expensive modern singles. Like obvious, like Latios, the Umbreon, those are like the obvious ones. But I don't know if there's any like, promos or anything like other cards like, mixed in there that could be a better buy. But so I guess I'll just say one of the, Moonbreon or something for modern. Why not? Mr. Walrus, Alex, you're a modern rags to riches story. You're an inspiration. This is so stupid today. So stupid. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Oh gosh. Hey, Drake likes modern. Drake likes modern sports cards. Let's see. Is this the last live? He's getting banned for clickbait. That's what it is, man. YouTube gave me one last live before they've banned me. No, I mean, I'm going on vacation for 2 weeks, so I won't be back until late August. And so there won't be any live streams. Have a bunch of awesome content scheduled though. It will be, being released while I'm gone, but no live streams. So no live streams for a couple weeks. Let's see. Greg said my local card shop has Pop Series packs for sale at TCG market value. Thoughts? Depends on which Pop Series packs. Not all of them are are you talking like for investing, just for like collecting? Like awesome to collect. Not all Pop Series packs have like gold stars in them or nothing though. So it depends on which ones. Let's see. Walrus says the danger in the hobby is not having enough penny sleeves. The only irrational fear. You know what? You laugh about that. Remember during the pandemic though, how you like couldn't find top loaders, you couldn't find like packing or shipping materials. Like things were actually very scary. Like it's funny you say that, but there was actually a time when you couldn't find some actual protection materials. Charles says, what's anyone think about 2023 World Championship deck? I believe it just released. I'm thinking about buying because I just want the Pikachu promo, but it's almost $400 a deck. Yeah, I don't really know much about those. I don't ever mess with those too much. I don't even know how those cards or those decks perform. So I'm not going to talk about something I know nothing about and look like an idiot. I mean, a bigger idiot than I already am. I mean, I invest in modern product. I already am an idiot, but I don't want to get that to that level of stupidity and talk about something I know nothing about. There are so many vintage Pokemon scammed on Facebook Marketplace. I'm involved in Facebook groups. I've made multiple purchases, never been scammed. I don't know. I'm sure it's there. If you want to talk about that, go to Rattle's channel or go to Opossum Bud's channel. They do all the negativity. Everyone's getting scammed. Let's talk bad about people. I'm not going to do that here. It's it's bad for the community. It's not worth it. I mean, I'm not going to talk about that. Like, I'll be honest with you, I've been on eBay for like 13, 14 years. Never once been scammed from a buy. Never once been scammed from a seller. I mean, I've had sellers like send me back items before because they, I've never been scammed. I've literally never been scammed one time. And I've bought, thousands of items over that amount of time. So I think the scams are very few and far between. It's just when one does happen, 1 out of a million, it just gets publicized because negativity sells. That's what I think about it. There's not as many people trying to fake products or resell products or scam people. It's just when one person does, all the, hype, negativity channels pick it up, make 1,000 videos about it, and there you go. So that's my view on all that stuff. I'm not about it. Not about that stuff. Waller says, I hate you in real life, for the record. Good to know. Good to know. I at least like knowing where I stand with people. That's all I really need. Charles is 400 modern. It's too cheap. Too cheap. Love the video on Crown Zenith. Recently, I heard so many people say it's not investable and it's going to crash. Yeah, I know. I heard the same. God, I want to clip videos from Chilling Reign, Battle Styles, and Fusion Strike. There were so many people saying, oh, this is going to take years and 5 years minimum. I mean, I could clip exact phrases, people saying this is going to take 5 years minimum for these to move in price again. And they doubled within like a year. It's just, people are always going to say it. People are just so negative on sealed product. I don't know what it's for either. I don't know if they're trying to push their own agenda. I don't know if they really are that bearish. They really don't believe. Like, I don't know what it is. But no, I mean, Crown Zenith is one of the best sets in all of Sword and Shield. Why wouldn't it move? You see every other set moving, and you think that one of the best sets is not going to move? Like, it's really insane, especially when you see what the PC TVs are doing in Crown Zenith, and you don't think the regular ones are going to follow, at least in some sort of way. It's insanity. For February 2021, SM Pratt made an adapt or die video. That quote is vintage. Dude, I can't hang today. I can't hang with the trolling. It's too much for me. It's too much. I need a vacation after this live. That's what I need. Oh, flip flap. More easy to make money without wasting time arguing. I stand with some successful people to share thoughts, but I don't go public anymore. Yeah, I gave up on it too. I mean, if you go back early in my channel, I used to have like beefs with a lot of people. I used to try to make a lot of videos trying to, correct them or disprove them. But, I backed away from it all. I got out of certain discords. Like, for me, I don't need to be around a bunch of negativity. Like, that's great if other people have their opinions. And look, if there's like real arguments, if there's real like facts, data, statistics, people are showing different movements and indicators in the markets, I'd be happy to hear. But I've just heard so much for so long, and it's the same tired arguments. It's Beanie Babies and 90 sports cards, so Pokemon's going to follow. It's, the boogeyman of the future is going to come get us. The future is going to deteriorate all this stuff. What if, people don't care about physical products in the future? It's all just going to be digital, and all this stuff's overprinted. There's not going to be enough demand in the future to eat all of it up. It's going to be illiquid. And it's those same arguments repeated again and again and again, but there's no data. There's nothing to back it up. It's just empty words. It'd be like me coming on here and just saying, hey, everything's going to go up for eternity. There's always going to be enough demand. There's, you're always going to make money. It's just like, well, why? Do you have anything to prove this? And it's like, that's why I like to show all the data that I show, because everything I try to say is backed up by what I see: market trends, market movements, indicators on the market. Because just like coming out and saying opinions is empty words. Just like older, rarer, minter, better. It's just empty words. Like we're proving that day in and day out. It's just empty words. Like, yeah, of course you can find instances where there are older, rare, minter cards that are more expensive than modern. But then if you can ever find even one card that doesn't fit that mold, then that whole mindset goes out the window. If we not found one, I mean, I can probably find 50, 100 of them right now of that where the modern beats out the vintage counterpart, even though the vintage has less pop report, the packs and boxes are more expensive, they're more rare, they're more scarce, they're just as mint. I mean, everything that they want you to look at. And so if it's kind of like as a science experiment, like if this variable is ever not met, then the whole equation's false. It's like, so that equation's false at this point. That's all I got. Sorry for the rant. My guy, tell them I was in the game 2009 to 10. No one cared about for those sets. Yeah, no one still does. That's why you can go look at those cards in those sets, and you can find PSA 10 hollows for $200, $300, $400, $500. Right? There's PSA 9 modern cards that go for more than that. So PSA 9 modern, not as rare, right? Or sorry, not as mint. They're nowhere near as rare. We already know they print 9 billion cards. Not as rare, right? It's not as old. So how is it better? How in the world is a Moonbryon PSA 9 going for $500 plus, but you can go buy a PSA 10 vintage hollow with a sub 100 pop report for $200-$300? How does that work? Explain it to me. If popularity and demand don't mean anything, how does that work? How does it work? It's crazy. It's craziness, guys. Craziness. And then, are you tripping? If you want to invest in Scarlet and Violet, I most certainly am choosing the starting Pokemon from this generation. All the starters, it's not a bad idea, I guess. Maybe the legendaries, right? I mean, I really don't know. I honestly do not know. Let's see. Do you gotta do what you gotta do? Worrying about others are doing holds doing what others are doing and holds a man back. Yeah, I agree. It's just not worth it. I mean, it doesn't affect you, right? Like what a bunch of people in this like little small sector of the community think, it just doesn't matter. Like going and watching a live stream of another person in the Pokemon community, or like like a reserved investment, Sean over there. It's like, we all have a few, 1,000 subscribers, whatever. We all get, whoa. I was going to say we all get about 100 people. There's 186 people in here right now. This is the biggest live I've ever had. It's noon in the middle of a day. Does anyone work anymore? This is crazy. But yeah, we all get like maybe 100, 200 people in these lives. Maybe a couple thousand people watch the lives afterwards, and that's the extent of it. And so it's like that is nowhere near enough to ever move a market, to change the mind of a market. And so that's why it doesn't bother me. It's just like, hey, go get on, say whatever you want, have fun with it. But it's not going to affect anything I do with my money. So doesn't bother me. They convince people because it's easy. The human race is a bunch of sheep who just follows the herd. Yeah, exactly. No one wants to do their own research. No one wants to go and actually look at the numbers. They just want to hear older rare mints are better. Boom, buzzword. They just want to hear, vintage, moderns bags. It's overprinted and everyone's doing it. So do the opposite of what everyone's doing, right? It's amazing. And then it's all bundled together in a term called value investing, right? Because you're trying to find the value where others don't see it. And really, it's just value investing is really just a term for speculating. It's really just a speculation term to, basically you're just taking a huge gamble that somehow, some way people are going to come back and find that and want that product more in the future. That's what value investing is. It's you determining that you see more value in it than no one else does, and you thinking other people are going to come see value in it the same way you do in the future. The problem is you can't push your value system onto others. Other people they're individuals. They're going to have their own value system. They're going to care about what they care about. And you can only convince so many people to, kind of get off their beliefs and their values and follow you. Most of the majority of the people are going to continue to do what they want to do. And the best thing to do is just follow that trend and go with the grain. Don't go against it. That's what I go for. NVIDIA better than Tesla? Oh my gosh, NVIDIA is out of control, like 300% this year or something. I know it's pulled back a little bit, but absolutely insane. And then refuses to acknowledge the most profitable trades are made when you buy when no one cares about it. Yeah, I mean, look, I get that, but that's like saying, okay, here, if you truly believe that, go buy Pokemon Go. Go buy Pokemon Go right now. Or if you truly believe that, put your money where your mouth is. How about this? I can go ahead. I'll pull up a ton of mid-era cards, mid-era hollows, all PSA 10, because I know all the vintage people like PSA 10, even though 9s perform better a lot of the time, and you can diversify more, and there's a larger buyer pool, and there's more liquidity. Don't worry about that, though. I'll pull up your PSA 10 vintage mid-era cards, and you can buy them all. We'll have a party on stream. All the people who believe in vintage and mid-era, they can all put their money where their mouth is. They can buy them all. At the same time, I'll do the exact opposite, and I'll buy a bunch of modern sealed, and we can have a live stream again in 5 and 10 years, and we can see who was right. That we can do that. How about that? That sounds like a fun time to me. That sounds like a good time. Salmon swim against the current and get eaten by bears. That's some deep analogy. Is it not? Is it not? So you're going to swim against the current and be eaten by a bear. The very thing that these people are is bears. Brian Carruthers in the house. Thanks for stopping by, man. I know you got a busy schedule. Appreciate you being here. Zachy says, giving away Pokemon Halloween packs this October to the neighborhood kids. Got to get them hooked on this Secure Their Future. It's so funny because Brian, I think that was one of the things he said. It's basically you just give the stuff away to people, and it's like the drug dealer mentality. If you give enough free stuff away, it gets them hooked. They come back and they pay the next time. I love it. Get Pokemon cards in the hands of as many people as possible. I agree. We got Ray J14. It's because they're holding lots of vintage and are threatened by the modern market. Absolutely. This is absolutely what I believe. It's the reason my posts and threads would always get deleted on E4. It's the reason that, SM Pratt and other people make videos consistently trying to prop up the vintage market, trying to bring eyes back to it, trying to talk down modern because of all the reasons they say, not enough historical significance to the hobby. There's so many different niches you don't even know about in vintage. There's so many awesome artworks and artists, and they try to paint this huge, beautiful picture when in fact it's like, all right, cool. It's cool, but modern's cooler, right? It's better now. Pokemon's improved over the years is what it is, right? I mean, these are the same people who, literally were still going to Blockbuster and family and they show up and it's closed. Why'd it close? Right. They're like Randy in South Park. They're buying Blockbuster thinking, oh, this is my moneymaker. And people are like, what are you doing? Everyone's just streaming on Netflix. Like, no, I'm staying here. I'm staying here with Blockbuster. I'm not evolving. And it's just, it's amazing to see. It's a strange community where people just hold on so tightly, even when all the numbers, data, statistics, and popularity demand go against them. But hey, value investing. I get it. And those who love vintage and early, those who missed out have to make do with modern unless you loaded. Yeah, it's pretty much how it is. Does anyone still use E4 or are we all banned at this point? I have had so many people tell me they're banned, and that just goes to show it's like, I look at the channels on YouTube I'm banned from. I look at E4, like all these people are banned, and it just tells me, okay, so you want to create you want to create an echo chamber. Like you want to ban anyone who has different viewpoints just so it has the appearance to the outside world that everyone says the same things and everyone agrees, right? It's just like, it's such a strange thing in this community. I'll never understand it. I'll never get it. If there's leaks of cards before it's released, it's already too old and easy pass on the set. 151's old news. What's next? Collectible accounting. Brian's going to finance Pokemon. We need you. We need more like Brian. Those are the true heroes we need. If you follow the rules, you don't get banned. What rules? There were no rules. I mean, I think everyone knows me right now. Am I ever vulgar? Do I ever attack people personally? Do I ever use, am I racist, sexist, anything like that? I have never broke rules. That's the thing. I've only done the same thing. Literally, I've done the same thing I do on this YouTube channel on these other people's sites or channels and I show the facts. I show the data. I talk about how and they'll get deleted. Stop trying. I'll get people saying, stop trying to give people the FOMO into modern and make them lose all kinds of money. It's just like, okay, because that's what I'm doing. I'm not trying to, show real facts and data. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm being a hype guy. And look, I get it. People have told me, during the 2020, 2021 boom, there were a lot of those hype pump and dump channels. They were getting people hurt. And I get there was some of that out there, but I was never that person. I was always backing it up. And again, people just didn't like it. I didn't break rules. I just said things people didn't agree with. And if the right moderators are in charge, the right moderators can ban you, is what it is. So many kids are collecting Pokemon cards right now. In 20 years, this wave of kids will be in earning careers and will have money to spend on nostalgic cards, just like the kids 1999, 2003 do now. Yeah, exactly. When our parents grew up and got money and they wanted to collect things, they collected different things, right? Maybe they have a classic car in the garage under a car cover that never gets driven, but they collect it, right? Maybe they have a wine cellar with a whole bunch of expensive wines. Maybe they have antiques and things, or a room of antiques where you're not allowed to go in, not touch anything. That was the things they liked. This generation, This is what this is what we like. This is where that money's going to go. It's going to leave those hobbies and it's going to come to this hobby. And we're seeing it already happen. Hermit Man, real modern collectors already have 151 graded hits. Modern Pokemon will sell for millions of dollars. Yeah, DC is one of the guys that likes to troll me. Hey, hold on for dear life to vintage. Good luck. I mean, and look, I don't even hate on you. Like, good luck. I hope it works out for you. I mean, I would not be against it working out. I'm just against false information being portrayed. That's it. Brian Carruthers, except every kid today has the chase card they want. That wasn't true in 1999. Oh, every kid today has a PSA 10 Moonbryon? You think that? Do you really believe that? Every kid today has a PSA 10 Latias Latios. Every kid today has every sealed booster box. Every kid. No, come on. Let's get real. Look at some of the XY, Sun and Moon, even Sword and Shield now, promo cards. Like some of those are going for thousands of dollars now. You have hits from XY and Sun and Moon going for thousands of dollars. You really think every kid has those cards? No. Let's get real, all right? Let's get real. Joel said the sports card world is already getting into TCG. I traded 2 PSA 10 Evolving Skies cards for $1,000 of Otani rookie PSA 10 slabs. Yep, the crossover is happening. The crossover is definitely happening. Dan said, hey, I wasn't saying you. I was saying me. All right, chat, question. Do you think that serialized cards will make to Pokemon win, and what will be the impact? Absolutely they will, and I'll tell you the impact. Go pull up the top 10 baseball, basketball, hockey, football cards sold. You're going to be surprised. These modern cards, these one-of-ones of popular players, they are selling for millions of dollars. If Pokemon ever does serialized cards, look at Lord of the Rings. Look, brand new TCG card, 2.6 million Post Malone. Do you not think a serialized Charizard or Pikachu is going to fetch millions of dollars? Do you not think there's enough whales to pay you for a one-of-one? If it comes, you will see a gigantic rise in value in Pokemon cards. It won't even be close. Oh, yeah, and by the way, if that ever happens and serialized cards are in the boxes, you can only imagine what the sealed boxes will go for. You can only imagine. All right. Oh, and by the way, everyone's like, oh, Magic, it's going to also, all the Lord of the Rings boxes are going to crash. Have they crashed? There was a downturn, yeah, but there are other serialized cards in there. There's still going to be the collectible aspect of having that box to remember that point in history. Have they crashed? They've downturned, but I wouldn't call it a crash, right? Just think about that. What do we got? DC. More DC. I love it. Pre-Pokemon Go is not modern. Pre-Pokemon Go is not modern. Okay, so like early XY is not modern? So you're saying I can't use any XY sets as modern? Okay. All right. Evolution's Charizard, PSA 10, I believe it just sold for like over $2,000. Evolution's Charizard. That's modern, right? That's one of the most overprinted sets in all of modern history. The card has a 400 and something pop report, which is higher than most vintage cards. Why is it selling for over $2,000 when some of the vintage cards didn't even hit that during the boom? Tell me that. It's just a reprint Charizard. We've had tons of reprint Charizards. We've had base 2. We've had Legendary Collection. We had that Stormfront one, which is a little different, but basically a reprint. We had we have Celebrations. There's tons of reprint Charizards. Why is that one with a 486 pop so expensive? Could it be popularity and demand? Could it? I don't know. Pokemon Wonder 162. People are here only 16 likes. Give the man a little love. Oh, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate that. I don't do this for the likes. I don't do this for likes. You know what I do it for? I do it for the dislikes. Hey, want me to tell you something? I've actually talked to people about this. I've never had one single video without dislikes on it. Every single video I make has like a slew of dislikes, and I love it. I used to always listen to Rudy's videos and hear him say that and thought he was just like BSing, but now I've experienced it firsthand. You should see the amount of dislikes my videos get. And I legitimately think people don't even watch them. I think they just click on the video, click dislike, and leave just to make sure they stick it to me. Like it's really funny. I love it. People are fun. People are fun. What do we got? What else we got going on in the chat here? Nomics is the same age as old people. I'm 33. I'm 33, bro. Come on. I'm not old here. We're staying young. Oh, we got Green Shiz in the house. What's up, man? To be fair, everyone back in the day knew Groudon was poo-poo, and we still do. People nowadays not growing up with Sapphire and Ruby are blinded. 2015 equals modern. 2023 equals modern. Okay, well, fine. I mean, do we want to look at what a silver Dialga goes for in a PSA 10? Do we want to go back there? Do we want to start looking at some XY promo cards and see what those go for in PSA 10s? Do we want to look at a Flashfire Charizard PSA 10? You know, those are all $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 cards. You sure you want to go there? I don't know. I mean, DC, look, man, I know the numbers. Like, I'm not an idiot. Like, I know vintage numbers. I know modern. I know mid-era numbers. I know what the stuff sells for. I keep very close eye on the markets these days. I'm not trying to like portray my own opinion on people. This is actually happening. All right, modern cards are actually surpassing their vintage counterparts. It's just the trend of the market. I'm not trying to convince anyone. I'm not trying to pump modern. I'm not trying to bash vintage. I'm just letting you know what's happening. That's all I'm doing. I'm literally just letting you know. I'm showing the numbers. I'm showing the data. You can take it however you want. Like, there's no emotions here. It's just numbers. But people are putting large amounts of money into modern cards and modern product. It's just the way it is. You can't deny it. Cannot deny it. How do you rank Scarlet Violet sets? There's been like 3. I don't know. I don't even know much about Obsidian Flames, but everyone hates it, I hear. So Paldea, Obsidian base. I like Paldea. I will pump Paldea for the next 3 years until I'm right. I think it's a strong set. I don't know why everyone's so down on it. I don't get it. All right. Am I the only one who has no interest in slabs? I like being able to see my cards up close, not behind glass like a museum, especially with all the small detail and texture these days. Where are you getting your slabs encased at to get them in glass? Mine are all in plastic. I'm just kidding, man. But yeah, I get it. I mean, not everyone's a slab collector. There's a lot of binder collectors out there. I'm a sealed product collector. Did you hear that? A sealed product collector. I've been collecting it since 2015. I was buying sealed vintage packs and theme decks. Like, I actually like displaying sealed product, which is crazy. There's a group of people out there who literally only see the value of sealed product in the EV of the box. They'll say, well, if there's no good hits in the box, like Rebel Clash, there's no reason the box should be expensive. There's no reason Steam Siege should be that much. There's no reason Black and White should be that much. It's the value of the sealed product. People actually want to collect it just as much as they want to collect some of the cards. I've said it to this day. If I could only own one thing in the hobby, I'd own a first edition base set box. I wouldn't own a first edition base set Charizard. Just me. I value the sealed product more than the card. I mean, that's just the way it is. Everyone's opinion is going to be different on that. It's not wrong. It's not right. It's just, you have to understand there's people with different value systems than you out there. I don't know why this is a new thing. There's Dan saying I was genuinely memeing. I know, Jan. We're good. I know we just troll each other all day. It's all good. Reforge, like what? Most chase cards are like $100 max on TCG Player. Are you talking raw? I'm talking graded. Yeah, I mean, you can find cards raw. What about Giratina? Giratina, Lost Origin? Those are like $300 raw, right? And here's TCG Player. If you go buy a raw silver Dialga from Phantom Forces, or you go buy a raw Flashfire Secret Rare Charizard 108, right? The Blue Flame Charizard. If you want to go buy a raw, like, you're not actually going to get them in gradable condition. They're going to be like maybe PSA 7 at best, the way TCG Player is. And so if you're looking for PSA 9, 10 copies, and you want to buy those in PSA 9s and 10s, the values are high. And you can go look at sales data. The modern cards in high values are selling much more often than the vintage cards in similar values. So people are willing to put $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 into modern cards and modern boxes much more often than they're willing to put that same amount of money into vintage. So a lot of people like to say, well, the reason vintage is less liquid is because the price points are too high. Not true. The high price point modern items are moving faster still. This is where the money is. This is where the money's headed. You see this in every market. People get attached to their bags and get emotional when you challenge their view, cognitive dissonance. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. I sell my modern bulk to vending machine companies. I've been buying vintage cards with that money. Good idea. I mean, yeah. I mean, if it's modern bulk, yeah. I mean, vintage cards are better than modern bulk. Skippy FX, what's up, man? Long time no talk. Whether you agree with him or not, got to respect Nomic's passion, conviction, and content grind. Keep it up, Alex. Getting trolls is the next step to YouTube greatness. I appreciate that, man. Hey, you would know. If you don't know Skippy, he's got a video game channel, and he's doing great on YouTube. I think he's got like, what do you have now, man? I know you have like tens of thousands of subscribers. So coming from you, that means a lot. TJT says, in 5 years plus of me, trading card game is most certainly vintage. Okay. All right. Let's see what we got going on here. When do you think Lost Origin, Silver Tempest, Brilliant Stars, Battle Styles, Brilliant Stars will be out of print for booster boxes? I have a guy that can still get them from distro in bulk. Brilliant Stars or Battle Styles? That's pretty crazy if you still get Brilliant Stars. I mean, I would get as many of those as possible. I mean, if he can still get those in bulk at like distro rates, why would he not be buying, like maxing out every credit card he has and then just flipping them on the market right away? Like he could make all the sales right now and just say, hey, ship dates 2 weeks from now or whatever, how long distributors taking to get to them, pre-sell everything, make the huge order and then ship them out. I mean, everyone's going to buy Lost Origin, Silver Tempest, and Brilliant Stars right now at under market price. I mean, a TCG player, Silver Tempest, almost 130. Lost Origin still in the 130s, and Brilliant Stars is like 150s, 160s. Like, that's a no-brainer if that's true. There's a lot of rumors, though. I mean, there was a rumor in the Discord the other day about Evolving Skies. I reached out to other people with distribution, other store owners. It's 100% false. There's no talks of Evolving Skies getting reprinted. Stop the rumors. No one's talking. No, there's nothing coming. I already reached out. Already checked. It's not happening. If we see the trend continue or Modern continues to move better than Vintage, how many years does it take does a Modern investment turn into Vintage? One stops moving. It's not about, it's not about turning into Vintage at this like certain year or point, and then it just like the brakes get pumped on. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the reason that a lot of those Vintage cards don't move is because the interest isn't there. Just because, Sword and Shield ages does not mean it's not always going to have the interest. This is when the most people, maybe other than 99, ever got into the hobby. So it's always going to have the most interest out of any other era. Whether people buy it now, they come back in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, their kids one day want to open. Like, that's the interest is always going to be in Sword and Shield. So there's not like an imaginary year where you cut it off and say, okay, now it's Vintage, it's not worth anything. It's not what I'm saying. It's just there was not as much interest in those middle era sets, so there's not as many people going back to it. Hermit Man, last live Nomics merch flash sale, free OBF booster boxes with every purchase, right? No, it's just the last stream before vacay. That's all. Last stream for a couple weeks. I'm trying to scroll down and get caught up in the chat a little more. Oh my gosh, I'm not even close. I am not even close to getting caught up in the chat. This sucks. You guys are going way too fast. Look how fast this chat's moving. All right, guys. Hey, I'm going to skip some of the questions. I'm going to try and just take some of the bigger ones. Let's see. Alex, I know you're bullish on Modern. I am too. But I think it's currently a small bubble in this current moment. I feel like current Modern market will drop 20%-ish in the next few years. First of all, thank you so much for everyone for being here. There's 205 of you in this stream. I've never had any stream anywhere near this. So thanks everyone for taking time out of your day to stop by and have a listen. So what do you mean it's in a bubble? These are just buzzwords that people throw out. What is in a bubble? So first of all, Sword and Shield base and Rebel Clash were released during the pandemic. They were much shorter printed. They didn't get big reprints. So that's why those boxes are so high. Darkness Blaze and Vivid Voltage both had reprints, right? All the other sets in the era had reprints. Okay, so other than Evolving Skies getting pumped because of how strong of a set it was because of Moonbryon, that's the only thing out of the norm. What else is in a bubble? The fact that booster boxes are 130, 140, 150 in price after a year, 2 years, 2.5 years. That's normalized growth in this hobby. If you haven't been in this hobby, I mean, 10, 20, even 30% a year, that can be normal in collectibles. Because there's inherently more risk. I said it, Dan, I said it. There's more risk investing in collectibles than an S&P index or a mutual fund. So when you incur more risk, like buying a single stock, when you incur more risk in collectibles, you can expect higher than average returns, 10, 20, 15, 25%, whatever it is. So for sets to be a year, 2 years old and be up to 120, 130, 140, 150 a booster box, that's not a bubble. That was what was done in XY before the boom. Before 2016, Pokemon Go evolutions, before Logan Paul pandemic, Flashfire, base set, Phantom Forces, Furious Fist, those sets were already moving up, right? Roaring Skies was already like almost $200 a booster box. Then they reprinted it into the ground and it killed it for a few years. But sets always have moved up. Sealed product has always appreciated with time. So I don't understand the bubble you're talking about. What bubble? That's where I don't understand. Kryptonite Cards says, Catch 'em All Collectibles. Did you see they got rid of Champions Festival cards? It's now Paradise Resort. The card has the most ridiculous ability. All right. Here's more DC. I love this guy. Or girl. Don't know. He won't acknowledge that the best trades are made when you buy low. Talks about Tesla over the last 5 years. What about the next 5? I never said the best trades aren't made when you buy low, but there's nuance there. Like, so buying in, that's like saying, okay, well, you should have bought Bed Bath & Beyond when it was low. Oh, it went bankrupt. You should have bought Radio Shack when it was low. Oh, it went bankrupt, right? You should buy all these vintage mid-era cards that no one cares about. You should buy Pokemon Go while it's low, right? I mean, that's what you're trying to say. No, that's not the case. Just because something is low does not make it investable, right? Now, you could argue there's Charizards right now because there's some Charizard fatigue on the market that may be good buys now that they're low, right? You could definitely argue that. You could argue that, because there's so much vintage sealed product being open, that while vintage sealed product has taken that massive dive, that maybe now it is low enough to start picking up some vintage sealed. Like, you could argue certain circumstances, but no, just saying because things are low, they're a buy. Absolutely not. You're going to get people crushed. You will get people absolutely crushed by giving them that information. That's terrible information. Terrible. Brandon said, you never got scammed when you first got back in. That's when it usually happens. No, I never got scammed at all. I mean, I'm not an idiot. I'm pretty good at sifting through and sniffing out BS. Like, I always made sure I bought. See, here's the thing. A lot of people, like, they really chase after that perfect price, and they don't care if they got to buy from a zero feedback seller or buy from some crazy website or buy from some Facebook group by a guy that has no reviews. Like, I don't care if I have to pay a few dollars more. I'm going to buy from a reputable seller. I'm going to buy from a reputable store. I'm going to buy from someone on a Facebook or a Discord who has some recommendations, who has some track record. I'm not going to just take the lowest price I see and say, oh my gosh, this is an awesome price. Buy. I'm not going to do that. So maybe that's why I haven't got scammed. I'm from the mindset, the street smart mindset. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. So as long as you take that, you're probably not going to get scammed too hard. Another thing is, look, I didn't try to buy, packs when they said unweighed or like, just be realistic. Like, you can tell when people are scamming. You can tell when people are trying to make their lots on eBay look better than they are when there's really no value in them, trying to scam you. Like, just don't be stupid. Be smart. You won't get scammed. Let's see. Pokebeaches, keep up the great channel. Please don't fall into the PokeTuber trap of making mystery packs. That is getting old. Yeah, I'm not going that direction. Bro, I've been trying to buy vintage off Facebook Marketplace, and not one single person will reply and give better photos. I'm even offering an asking price. That's strange. Yeah, that's a weird marketplace. I've had pretty good luck off Facebook Marketplace this year. Okay. Everyone's talking about mystery packs now. Ridiculous. Geez, all the mystery pack BS. I'm not doing mystery packs. We're going to do mystery booster boxes. We're taking it one step further here on NN. We're doing full mystery booster boxes. Let's see. I'm looking at buying a case of booster boxes for long-term. Which would you go in for, either Lost Origin or Fusion Strike, and why? Thanks. So not investment advice. This is what I would do. Gosh, right now, either one, doesn't matter. Lost Origin just had a reprint. It is selling at a discount right now. It has Giratina. It is a very strong set. It has a very strong trainer gallery with, I believe they're Rayquaza VMAX. Is that what, is that the Pikachu VMAX? I think it's the Pikachu VMAX, I think. But yeah, so maybe Lost Origin because of the trainer gallery. Fusion Strike is super strong too, though. So you can't really go wrong, but maybe I'd lean towards Lost Origin a little more. Question. Walrus, this is a real question. I want to love Crown Zenith, but it's vintage now. How can I? You can't. You can't do it. It's vintage. You have to let it go. You just got to let it go. You got to know when to let your kids go. For example, for every example you find, a vintage example can be found. That's the point I'm trying to make, DC. So if you can find even one example, then older, rarer, minter, better is dead, right? If that was a rule, it would have to be true in every different possible way. It's not. It's not. The fact that the market has shifted and you're starting to see more and more modern cards rise up and break that rule, that should show you a market shift. Look, I know there's still a bunch of vintage examples because the market has just started to shift in the past 2-3 years. But with the shift, you're going to continue to see more and more modern overtake their vintage counterparts is what I'm saying. The fact that there are more and more moderns overtaking vintage should show you, that should be an indicator that, hey, the market's shifting. I should probably change my mindset. And if you're not, you're just holding on for dear life. That's when you get burned. Hey, everyone who held on through the boom to their vintage sealed, to their vintage slabs, their mid-era, what happened? You got crushed. 50% plus losses for not selling. And then even when I started my channel a year and a half ago and I was saying, hey, I was showing all the same data, people were still holding. They were still holding. We've continue to see a trickle down effect of a lot of those slabs and sealed products. That's why you can't just hold or buy when things are low. They can always go lower. You know what your real risk is? The risk is 100% of the money you have in the product, right? Let's be honest. If you buy a booster box for $100, you can lose $100. You literally can. It could go to zero. Now, 0.00 whatever 1% chance, but I get it. I mean, the realistic, risk on a booster box, maybe what, $60, $70, $80, probably the lowest they've ever been. But buying into slabs and vintage stuff at thousands of dollars, you have such a higher risk to reward, or a much worse risk to reward ratio than you do with modern product. It's crazy. Stormfront booster box 10,000. No one cares. No one does care. Are they selling? Here, let's see how many people care. I'm gonna look them up right now for you. Stormfront booster box. Sold listings. All right, we've had one sell for 7,100 June 29th. That was it. So first of all, they're not 10,000. They're 7,100. They may be listed for 10,000, but guess what? People don't care. So 7,100 is the most it's going for now, and that could continue to dwindle away. You got Flashfire, already half of that value in what? This is 2008. Flashfire was released almost 10 years later. 7? I mean, it's just, I can't even argue it anymore. It's too stupid. It's too dumb of a conversation. Oh, here we go. Retro's here. Question: is MasterCard a buy? Revenue severely outpacing valuation. Now you're getting me into trouble, bro. I can't be talking about buys in the stock market here. True Brandon, let's get a reprint for base set with Illustrator promos. If Pokemon ever did what Yu-Gi-Oh just did, how Yu-Gi-Oh just reprinted all their original sets, if Pokemon ever reprinted base Jungle Fossil, exact reprints, not the goofy evolutions or celebrations, all that stuff, like an exact card for card reprint, no logos, no different printing, actual reprint, that would break the hobby. That would bring so many people into the hobby. That would, again, there you go. Everyone always asks for a catalyst. There's your catalyst. There's your catalyst for the next Pokemon boom. If Pokemon does something like that, that could be it. That could be it. Cadabra Big Spoon, I would rather spend $1K on vintage slabs than having one modern Moonbreon 10. People like what they like, though. Yeah, exactly. And that's a great point. You would rather, right? That's the big thing. You would rather. There's other people that would rather have a Moonbreon. I mean, here's the thing. Legitimately, I'm not even trying to pump modern. I would literally rather own a silver Dialga, EX 122, the silver Dialga card, PSA 10, than a vintage card at the same price point. Pick any vintage card that's worth the same price. I don't know what it's worth now, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. I would rather own that than one of the shining Pokemon from Neo Destiny for $3,000. Just me. It's just me. There's actual people like me out there that actually enjoy the modern cards, the modern artwork more than some of the vintage counterparts. It sounds crazy to some people, but the people like me are out there, right? I'd rather own sealed booster boxes than a lot of slabs, than most slabs. I like sealed collecting. So it's just to each their own, and to understand that there's other collectors out there. That's how you you can position yourself to sell those products to them in the future, right? I buy all Pokey investments on MasterCard too, Retro. Oh man. Walrus, why are you mocking me for being unemployed? Canceled. It was only a matter of time. Am I not canceled yet? Am I still uncanceled? Am I uncancelable? Is that possible? What do we got? All right, here we go. Reds, Pokeplug, Tyranitar EX, Lugia EX, Dragonite EX, Charizard EX, Venusaur, Espeon, Umbreon, Kingdra. To be honest, the modern XY EXs loss almost always. Old EX era is very pricey. What are you talking about? The Flashfire Charizard EX just went for $2,400. It's actually outpacing a lot of the old EXs. What? What? The Venusaur and Blastoise EX full art from XY base set? You can't even find those in a PSA 10, and when you can, they sell for thousands of dollars. What else are we talking about? Umbreon, Espeon. I don't even know what we're talking about here. This is wrong. I don't know. I can't even entertain these wild imaginations. And I'm not trying to beat you up, Reds Plug. It's just the numbers don't point to what you're saying. I don't understand what you're talking about. Oh, we got Thomas. Greetings from the Czech Republic. Thanks for being here, Thomas. You're becoming famous in Europe too. Thanks for your efforts. Your content is very helpful. Oh, awesome to hear, Thomas. Thanks so much, man. Appreciate that. Completely lost my spot. All right, guys, you're gonna hate me. I am not dodging anyone's questions. I promise you. And you're gonna hate me, but I completely lost my spot. So anyone that didn't get to your question, leave it in the comments right now if you're still here. I'm sorry. I lost my spot, and there's too many comments. I can't go back and find it. First of all, I do see DC, though. $10 super chat from DC. Man, you've been trolling me. I appreciate it. Thank you. What do you got? You use the same 5 cards over and over. Moonbreon is 700 on TCG Player, and the next expensive card drops to 100. For most part, every card has card they want. Dude, DC, man, you're taking near mint copies. Like you're not taking the graded PSA 10 copies. Near mint is nowhere near indicative of the market. Like you could probably find a near mint copy of like I said, any XY card for under $100. But then every one of those cards in PSA 10s go for multiple hundreds, if not multiple thousands of dollars. So TCG Player near mint is not indicative of the market, and it's not indicative of people's collections. Yeah, if you want to say everyone can have a binder collection right now of cards they want, of course. But I mean, most people kind of evolve and they want either slabs or sealed product or higher value things in the future. So I don't know what you're getting at with that, man. I'm sorry. I don't get it. Don't get it. All right. Getting to the bottom now. I can't even get this is too much for me. Too much. All right. There's 212 people here. There was like 220 before. It's too much. I'm not used to things going this fast. All right, guys. I'm trying to keep up, but I'm not used to it. All right. Mr. Walrus, DC. So repeating multiple times doesn't make your point any valid or less valid. You're arguing kids can't afford $70, so you're investing in vintage eBay? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Why, Ponga, why would that be if no one cares about those cards? All right. Here's what we're gonna do. This, guys, I'm putting the chat on hold for a second. Here, let me get a couple more. I'm gonna put it on hold. Wait, what? What just happened? Hey, Thomas, it's telling me Thomas was banned and their comment was removed. I didn't ban him. Did he say something that YouTube banned him? Folks, what's going on here? How in the world did Thomas get banned? And I can't unban him. I have no authority here. What did he say? What did Thomas say? Thomas Pesek was banned about their comments and their comments were removed. Wow. Wow, we're at that level where YouTube's banning people from my own channel? Okay. Okay. Whatever. Okay. I'm flabbergasted right now. Crazy. Crazy. All right. Let's share the screen. Let's get into this. We're gonna do this right now. We're doing it live on screen. Sorry, chat. I'm not gonna take comments for a little bit. We're gonna get to the bottom of this. All right. Thomas' comment was mild. You didn't have to ban him. I didn't ban him. I did not ban him. If I banned him, I could unban him, and I can't. I have no options next to it. Whatever he said, YouTube removed for me. I don't know. Wasn't me. I'll look into it. I'm gonna message YouTube about it. I don't know what to do. I've never had that happen before. That's weird. All right, so we're sharing the screen. All right, so we're just gonna go, and that's why I can't cherry pick things. I don't want to. I do not cherry pick data. I don't do it. All right. Let's pick a set. Let's go pick a set. Which set should we choose? Pick some mid-era EX sets. EX Ruby Sapphire. Here we go. Let's pick a set. Pick a set, any set. Here we go. What do we got down here? What are the hits in EX Ruby Sapphire? Here's some EXs. Okay. EXs. Here's a Mewtwo EX. All right. We got Lapras EX, Hitmonchan EX, Scyther EX. Okay. All right. So let's look at some of these cards. All right. Mewtwo EX 101. All right. Mewtwo EX 101 PSA 10. All right. Highest first. $1,400 is the most recent sale. July 3rd, 1367 plus 48 from Australia. So now we're going to go look at the pop report. Okay. We're going to go to Google. All right. We're going to look up. I'm doing this live for you. Like this is what I do for my videos, and everyone thinks I like make stuff up. All right, now we're gonna go to Mewtwo EX 101 PSA pop reports. Guys, if you want to look at the population, it's kind of hard to search sometimes on PSA's website, so you can just go to Google, search it, and it'll bring you right to that page. It makes it a lot easier if you're ever looking at pop reports, because sometimes PSA search engine is kind of weird. So here we go. Let's go to the population. Let's see how rare this card is. I'm sure it's very rare, very scarce. Popular Pokemon. You can't say it's not an ultra popular Pokemon. I'm not skewing any data facts, all right? This is all fair. All right, 101, Mewtwo EX. 65. There's only 65 10s, 1,400 graded. That's it. That's it. Okay? So first we'll look at if there's any other Mewtwo cards that are higher in Modern. Any Mewtwo. So Mewtwo, PSA 10. Let's see if there's any cards that are higher than him in Modern. Let's see. These are Gold Stars, first edition base. Do we see any Modern Mewtwo's? These are Japanese. Those don't count. I don't count Japanese. We're same with English. All right, here. Let's take Mewtwo GX. Make it a little easier. Is there a Mewtwo GX up here? All right, Japanese. Is there any English that's higher? All right, no. We have 800. 800. So it looks like the only Mewtwo in Modern is 700. So here, Shining Legends is only, 6 years old? 6 years old. It's $740 already, right? So it's getting close. It's very close to there. It's not quite there yet. But let's just see how much more available Shining Legends is. All right. Now let's go check it out. All right, Shining Legends. Shining Legends, Black Star. Here we go. Shining Legends. So remember, there's like 60. It's only 60 of those Mewtwo EXs and PSA 10s, right? Now we're going to go see Shining Legends has Secret Rare 1,800. 1,800. And after 6 years, it's already a $700 to $800 card. Tell me again how population means so much. And now look, I know it hasn't surpassed it yet, but it's getting close. It's getting close. Let's take another set. I mean, we can do this all day, and I can find other cards that have surpassed in their same exact one. All right, here. Another super chat from DC. What we got? Now compare it to Unbroken Bonds Mewtwo Hollow. Okay. Let's do that. Unbroken Bonds Mewtwo. PSA 10. Mewtwo Hollow? A Hollow? Come on, dude. That's not the hit. Like, I'm taking the best hit from the set. You got to compare it to the other best hit of the set. Oh, okay. If you're comparing things like that, man, your data is going to be so skewed, DC. Like I super appreciate you the super chats, man, but like you can't take that. That's not a real data set. That's not a real data point. Here, let's type in Venusaur here, Charizard. Let's type in Charizard EX PSA 10. Okay. And obviously you're gonna have this one up top. I get it. Okay. Let's keep scrolling down though. Let's find others. All right. Charizard EX. Here. All right. Flashfire Charizard. Here, we're getting somewhere. All right. Flashfire Charizard Secret Rare, 2,400. All right. Flashfire Charizard. Is there another one? Another English one? I'm looking for more English. I thought there was more English Charizard. Well, here's one right here, 2,250. I thought there was another one. Could be wrong. All right. Well, I thought there was another Secret Rare up there, but anyway, I mean, you have people paying around 2,400, and then this one sold for best offer. You have another one up here. So you have people paying in the 2,000s for a Charizard EX modern, right? Here's another one. So then you come down here and you can find vintage Charizards for less. I guarantee. Well, here, ready? Let's keep going. Keep scrolling. Here we go. Charizard right here. Charizard Hollow EX Dragon Secret Rare. Secret Rare. Meaning it's the best hit in that set. 1575 PSA 10. And then we go to EX Dragon. All right. We're doing this real time for you, DC. For you. And then we're going to get back to the chat. But all right. EX Dragon. All right. Charizard's number 100. Okay. Charizard is number 100. Secret Rare, right? 155 10s. All right. And then we're going to go to Flashfire. Oh, messed up. It's not going to bring it up. Not going to bring it up. So, and sorry for everyone for sitting through this. I just wanted to show these happen real time. Like, I'm not cherry picking data. All right. Flashfire Charizard. So you already saw the other one. Had like 155 pop report. PSA 10, right? Flashfire Charizard. Go down to the Secret Rare. They're both Secret Rares. They're both the exact same rarity. Okay. Charizard, Secret Rare, 107, right here. 79. Ooh, 79. The blue one has 177. So, okay. It's more scarce. However, it's not older. It's not older or rarer. But it is minter. It is the same mintness, and it is I guess it is technically a little more rare. So that could be a reason why it is more expensive. But the fact remains that the best hit in that set back then, the Secret Rare, 1575. The best hits now in modern are going for more. They're going in the 2000s, right? I mean, here, I'm trying to get back. Here you go. 2250, 2250, 2400. And I could do this I could just keep doing this for card after card after card. Just like I showed with the Groudon before and the Rayquaza before. So I don't understand what the beef is. Like, why do we have to fight? Like, I don't care that vintage cards are more expensive than modern. The same way you shouldn't care if modern cards are more expensive than vintage. All it is we're trying to navigate the market the best way we can. And if the market shows one way, that's the hype train you should get on. Like, that's the train you should get on. You should go with the trends. I want to share triggering opinions and get paid too. Oh, geez. Not why I'm doing this. Not why I'm doing this. This is this chat, this whole live has really taken it's taken a route of its own. It's taken a life of itself. I don't know what to do at this point. Dan said, my 3 p.m. live has officially become a response to the desecration of the First Amendment we have witnessed. Oh, geez. Okay. Retro. Oh, DC, another one. Okay. And you think Flashfire is a better buy? Absolutely. 100%. I will, if you, hey, DC, man, that's a little expensive. I don't think I want to put $2,000 there but I would happily find $1,000 card. We can find, if you want to find $1,000 vintage card and you can actually buy it, send the purchase order, I will buy $1,000 modern card and we can compare and contrast every year and we can see who does better. I will happily do that with an XY card. I believe in XY PSA 10s much more than mid-era vintage. 100%. Absolutely. No trolling. No trolling. I will take that bet 2,000, 2,500. I don't want to go that high. I don't want to lock up that much money. It's not that I don't believe in it. It's just like putting in $2,500 into a card just for it to rise maybe 10, 20% in the next couple of years. It doesn't really, I mean, I think it's going to rise in value, but I think that money can be better to put somewhere else. But I will put $1,000 in something just to prove a point if that's what it takes. I'll happily do that. Absolutely. NN is going on vacation because of DC. I agree, man. You are grilling me today. DC gonna pull up at the bar while Alex on vacation, buy him a few rounds and flame him. You know what's funny though? I think I'd enjoy it though. On vacation, relaxing, I'd be happy to talk Pokemon. That'd be fun. Since the beginning, I've been saying, for example, for every example you find, there's a going to the opposite direction. There is an example. Right. But what I'm saying is, all right, let's talk about market shifts again. Here's the thing. If you would have looked at all the modern cards back in 2016, this was not the case. All the vintage cards were worth more, correct? Can we agree on that? Now the fact that modern cards are worth more than a lot of the vintage, and not all of them, you can find just as many that aren't. But now the fact that more and more every day are becoming worth more than vintage, and they're more liquid. People are putting hundreds and thousands of dollars into modern cards, choosing them over vintage. That has to show you a market shift. That is an indicator. Like, how can you miss that? You can't. You have to be trolling. You can't miss that. That's what's happening. The fact that we've seen a shift over these last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, that should tell you the direction the market's going. And the fact that those vintage cards sit on the market so long that Catch 'em All Collectibles himself has to auction them. And Z&G Emporium makes a video auctioning all of his vintage cards off because they're not moving. But modern cards are as liquid as can be, even in the hundreds and thousands dollar range. That has to tell you something. It has to. If it doesn't, then I failed. I have failed you. I truly have failed you, Anakin. Oh, man. Walrus, question. Who will you ban next? Didn't ban anybody. Never will. I'm very sad about that. I want to know what he said because I did not click ban and I couldn't unban him. There's Terry and Catch 'em All still going at each other. Gotta love that. I love other beef going on besides me and DC hitting each other back. And honestly, DC, I appreciate it. I like this. Like this is what the hobby needs, right? The hobby needs you coming with your arguments, me coming with mine, us using real facts and data to show each other's points. Like the hobby needs discourse like this. I want this. I want challenge. I'm glad you're challenging me. But just make sure the arguments are like legitimate, All right, we got another one. Alejandro, $4.99 super chat. First, saw you a couple weeks ago. Been binge watching you since. Appreciate that. I love hearing about the investment side of Pokemon. Keep up the good work. Hey, Alejandro, I really appreciate that. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you watching the videos. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the super chat, man. DC, I think you are using the consignment business against vintage in an incorrect way. Maybe I am. Maybe everything I say is just all trying to support this modern opinion I have. I mean, look, I don't need to do this, right? Modern was working far before I had a YouTube channel. Like I made my most massive gains in modern before I even got into YouTube, right? I mean, I don't need to be doing this to pump the modern market. The general public consent, like the general public, their interest and demand does that for me. The popularity does that for me. Pokemon's marketing does that for me. I don't need to pump it. I don't need to. Walrus getting called Anakin by Alex is his kink. This is out of control today. This is a whole new level. I'm all for stocking up on Sword and Shield. It is starting to phase out in the mainstream shops once it's gone. Yeah, I mean, Sword and Shield. Hey, full transparency. I just bought more of every Sword and Shield alt-art set other than Battle Styles. I felt I had enough Battle Styles. Don't really believe in Battle Styles as much. Yes, I did. More Chilling Reign, more Fusion Strike, more Lost Origin, more Brilliant Stars, more Silver Tempest, more Astral Radiance. And I did it. I bought Evolving Skies. I even bought Evolving Skies. So, yeah. That tells you how I feel about Sword and Shield. If you think I'm just pumping it and I don't actually do what I say, I don't put my money where my mouth is. I put my money where my mouth is. I probably put about $10,000 this month into Modern Sword and Shield. Just telling you. That's what I did. That's what I did. Not telling you what to do, but that's what I did. Flame me. Flame me in the comments. Now, I can get on board with this. We need a Terry Lake channel. We need a no. Oh, sorry. I thought this was going somewhere else. We need a Terry Lake and the Catch 'Em All Collectibles podcast where they just go at each other all stream long. I would watch that. I might. You know what? I might even pay a paywall to watch that. That's possible. Let's see. What do we got going on? Sprinting. My friends getting back into Pokemon since 2000s are excited about alternate arts. They never talk about the old holos when growing their collection. No way, you don't say. Interesting. Very interesting. Would have never guessed. Would have never guessed. David, dang. Just curious, who are the people owning these $1,000 cards? Are they store owners, collectors who only has one, collectors who have hundreds or thousands of cards? Yeah, so obviously I think it's collectors. I don't think store owners own too many of them, but that's kind of my like hesitancy on it, right? That's why I push PSA 9s so much, right? Is because PSA 9s, they perform, you know, and again, I'm not trying to push anything. There's PSA 10s that perform better than 9s too, depending on what card you look at. I was not trying to say that it's a rule that PSA 9s always outperform 10s. It's not true, but it is maybe 50-50, maybe 40-60. I don't know. There's a lot of the time, though, that PSA 9s outperform their 10 counterparts. So PSA 9s and 10s are pretty equal. PSA 9s are much more liquid, right? You can get out of them so much faster. A lot more people can afford a $200, $100, $200 card than a $1,000, $2,000 card. It's just the way it is. There's more people in the market that can afford that. 3, you can diversify, right? I can buy 10 PSA 9s at $100 to $200 a piece, or I could buy 1 or 2 10s at $1,000 or $2,000 a piece. Right? So you're diversifying more. You're giving yourself a better chance for one of those cards to hit, where the 10s, you're really gambling more. So yeah, I like 10s more. I like 9s more. So I don't know who is owning all the 10s. I don't know. Good question. Dan could probably tell us. Dan sells a lot of 10s. Retro could tell us. Retro sells a lot of 10s. Why don't you let us know who your customers are? Let's see. Tim said, that's me. I'm just back in. Have no interest in old cards when growing my collection. Do you guys see this? You think I'm like coaching these people? Do you think they're my friends? Like, hey, I consider all you friends. Like anyone who wants to come and take their time to watch even one of my videos, you're good enough to be a friend of mine. Like, I appreciate the support. But what I'm saying is, like, I don't know any of these people outside of Pokemon right now. Like, I don't know Tim. I didn't coach him to say these things. I didn't know the other guy that said that. This is the reality of what's happening. No one cares about vintage that are coming back in the hobby. They just don't care. Don't care is what it is. What's your stance on these Evolving Skies booster boxes? What other set would you compare it to? Any booster box, or is it in a league of its own? Also, where do you see it per box in 10 years? Team up. Team up. Compare it to Team Up. Compare it to Flashfire. Take it one step down. Compare it to Cosmic Eclipse. Compare it to Phantom Forces. Those are all like, I think Cosmic Eclipse is like what, 800-900. All the rest of them are thousands and 2,000s, 3,000s. That's where I think it can go. If everything continues to age as it always has, and other booster boxes get to 200 and 300, Evolving Skies can get to 1,000. There, I said it. Oh, I'm also going to say something too. Evolving Skies will probably be at $500 before Christmas time. Just going to say that. It's going to be at 500. That's my thoughts. Not financial advice, not telling you to go out and buy it, but if I had to guess, I think Evolving Skies will be 500, maybe 500 plus by the time Christmas comes. There you go. There's my predictions. You wanted them, you got them. When you get used to modern sets in the new arts, vintage just seems so bland in a way. I love vintage, but aesthetic-wise, modern is way better. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I showed you that like Groudon. You look at the old Groudon, it looks terrible. You look at the new one, it's awesome. Great artwork. It's very eye-appealing. You know, you go look at like what people consider the old Moonbryon back in Neos. You look at that card and you look at the new Moonbryon, and it's like it's very clear to see. I can't say it's objective truth, but it's a majority agreed upon truth that the new Moonbryon looks better than the old Umbreon artworks, the little single, very small box and the vintage hollows and very small amount of artwork. It just looks better. It's more eye appealing. That's why people like them. I mean, it's just, I don't know what else to say about it. Oh, man. Guys, I did not ban anyone. I have never banned anyone from my channel, my chat, my Discord. I never will. You can come in here and you can talk all the crap you want on me. Still won't ban you. You can sit there and cuss me out in the comment section. Still not going to ban you. Free speech is what I believe in. However, YouTube banned him for some reason, whatever he said. Don't know what it was. I will find out. But here's the thing. If anyone has a YouTube channel, you can, if you click on the person's name in the chat, you have the option to ban, unban, timeout, whatever it may be. I don't even have the option. It doesn't even give me the option to unban him. It took it away. So YouTube stepped in and did something there. I didn't do it. All right. I'm just going to, that's one thing I'm serious about. I am very serious about not banning anyone because I myself and other people have been banned from so many different channels, so many different online groups and stuff in the past that I will never silence anyone else the way I have been. He said, I like vintage. You banned him. Right? Oh, man. And then banned account from the platform, from the whole platform, right? All right, guys. Hey, it's been about an hour and 40 minutes. I know other people. I know Catch 'em All Collectibles has a stream in a little bit. Make sure to check him out. Guys, this is it. This is my last live stream for a while. We leave on vacation on Friday and won't be back for 2 full weeks. We're spending a full week at Universal Studios and Disney World, and then we're driving all the way to a beachfront condo. We're spending a whole week at the beach just relaxing. So I won't be back for 2 weeks. Got a ton of awesome content already planned. It's already scheduled. I'm going to be releasing a video every day or two, or every couple days. And, I got a lot of good stuff planned. So I hope you guys enjoy that. And I'll still be available in Discord. So if anyone's talking in Discord or anyone has anything, you can always message me in Discord. I may not get to it right away, but I'll still be answering stuff down there. So you can always reach out to me in Discord as well. The Discord link is in the description of this video. Anyone's invited, just click the invite link. Anyone's welcome, and no, you won't get banned. Other than that, though, thanks so much. We had like 200 and something people this stream. Never had that before. I really appreciate every one of you. Everyone who left a super chat, thank you so much. Alejandro, DC, man. Hey, I know we went back and forth a lot, but I really appreciate it, dude. Thanks for the super chats. And also, thanks for challenging me. Other people, feel free to do that. I mean, let's just hash it out. Let's have live discussions. I mean, I welcome it. Like, if you have legitimate, facts and data and things that you can point to, let's hear it out. Hey, I'm not infallible. Maybe I'm missing things in the market. Maybe you've seen different trends and different things happening that I haven't. And then we pull it up on the screen and I say, oh, you know what? You're right. Wow, this is changing. And that could happen. So yeah, DC, appreciate it. Thanks for everyone for doing that. And then, just make sure to check out the videos as they're released. And I'll see you guys in a couple weeks for another live stream. And Dan, before I leave, can we announce it? Can I say anything? Or do we keep it under wraps? This is the last thing I'm gonna say before I leave this stream. Can we keep it under wraps, or can we make an announcement? All right, Dan says yeah. So tomorrow, I am very honored to be a part of the Poke Flips podcast with Catch 'em All Collectibles and Old School Pokemon. I've been wanting to get on there, to get on there and chop it up with them on their podcast. I think the chat's great in there as well. I'm sure it'll be a blast. So make sure everyone tomorrow at noon Central, 1 Eastern time, I believe, to come check us out. It's a Poke. If you're not subscribed already, just type in Poke Flips. It'll come up, and we will be in there chatting tomorrow afternoon. Other than that, this is it. Be back here in a new video soon. I'm out.